playing loud, but we couldn't hear the pan. And then she stopped and she gave him a flower and a hug, and then she went back and started playing some calypso, I guess. But that was horrible. Her performance was not as it was not as great as you would expect it to be. There was another performance where it was another dance, and I don't understand what this dance was about. She started dancing to some African music she started dancing to some R&B music, and then the music changed and she was still dancing, and then at the end of her performance, some African music with the drums started playing, and she did a dance to that. When I sat there and I watched that performance, I said to myself, now, the Queen of Carnival usually goes on to the JC's Queen Show, and the same show that she puts on for the Queen of Carnival is what she'll put on for the JC's. Now, I was saying to myself, does she really think that she can win and go on to represent Antigua with this as a talent? That's what I was saying to myself. And I have to say to everybody who wants to become a Carnival Queen, it's a good thing to aspire to, but you gotta think outside of the box. I mean, you're gonna represent Antigua on a larger scale, so you gotta bring it. If you don't have talent, you gotta find talent or something. I was not pleased with her performance at all. For her entire performance, the crowd was like, what the hell is going on? I'm serious. We were in front and we were like, what the hell? I heard one woman said she wants her money back. People were cussing that they wanted their money back. But whatever. People always say that even the show is good. That's enough on the talent segment. After the talent segment, again, we had to wait really, really long. And after the talent segment, they had the costume segment. That was really nice. Back in the days, the costumes used to be really big and everything, and the girls could hardly dance and do their thing with their costumes. But since last year, I realized they're kind of reducing the size of the costume, which allows the girls to dance around. But my problem with the costume segment is, if you're the first delegate that goes up, it makes it hard for you to get the crowd's impression, because the DJ doesn't play one song. He plays like a series of songs, so he gotta start it off slow and then move to the jumpy. So delegate number 1 was really stifled. I think by the music they were playing for her, it stifled her because she couldn't dance fast. It was basically like a groovy soca song. It's a popular song, but it's a groovy thing. You can't really dance and show everybody how you can walk up with your costume. So I think a suggestion to Carnival development, from here on, what you should probably do is use one song for each delegate. That way, it doesn't decrease the chances for some persons, and it doesn't increase the chances for some persons. Because think about it. If I started performing with a slow song and I can't feel that song because it's too slow, then the performance to the viewers will seem bad. Whereas if I'm the 4th contestant and by the time I get out, they're playing all the great jumpy songs that everybody loves to hear, and you can actually get into it with the crowd, you can actually go in and I mean, you have a better advantage. I don't think in these shows anybody should have the better advantage. It needs to be a level playing field. So a suggestion is, rather than having so many different songs for that particular segment, let each delegate perform to one song. I think that's a fair suggestion, and I know that you, Mr. Vaughn Walters, will be watching this blog, so it's just a suggestion to you guys. So far I just gave 3 suggestions. The first one is, you need to start on time. It doesn't matter to me if it was the Queen of England, probably I'd understand, but the Governor General is late. Come on, she's coming to watch the show just like everybody else, so we need to start without her. Let's start on time. The second one was mic checks. You gotta do the mic check before these shows. You can't do it 5 minutes before the show and expect everything to be great. This is a show that the world is gonna see, so you need to make sure everything is on point. And the sound system last night, it killed me. It killed me and the spirits of many other persons. Moving on. Now, between two of the segments. I think it was between the costume segment and the evening wear. I'm definitely sure that was when it was. We had some live performance by Claudette Peters. Now, she didn't come with her band because, you know, it's a Queen show. It's not for her band, really. But she performed with the CD playing in the background, and again, because the sound system was so horrible, it made her sound off at times. And let me tell you, Claudette Peters is a great singer. She's one of Antigua's best talent, but because of the sound system again, it really messed her up, and that could have messed up her voice for further performances. Anyway, she sang a few songs, and then she brought on Ricardo Drew. I'm not gonna give my opinion of Ricardo Drew just yet, but she brought on Ricardo Drew. He did a song as well, and then he came off, and then Super Mario came on, and he did his thing. You know, that song that he and Claudette Peters sang. They did their thing. After that, she started singing again by herself. She did a really nice show. She was on stage for about 35 minutes. Yeah, she was on stage for about 35 minutes, and then after her performance, Priscilla came out, and Priscilla, you know, did a little talk up with her. Now, I gotta pause for a second to go back. The Carnival Development Committee introduced something this year called Backstage Entertainment. This is where, you know, there's supposed to be like a reporter at the backstage, and he's supposed to be showing us exactly what's going on. I don't think that went as they wanted it to go. I don't think that went as they wanted it to go, but it was a nice initiative, and I'm guessing they got it from BET, but I guess I'm not gonna comment badly on that. It was a nice initiative, and I think if they continue working on it, we will get better. But the only thing is, we didn't really get to see what backstage access is supposed to show us. It's supposed to show us like these girls running to put on their clothes, or running here to get their makeup done and stuff like that. We didn't get to see that, and he co-hosted it with Dory Benjamin. Now, all hail the Queen. She's the Queen of Carnival 2010. But I don't think, I mean, TV is not her thing. TV is definitely not her thing. But she tried. She had fun. It was evident that she was having fun with what she was doing. And that's that. So I'm not gonna comment much on what Dory Benjamin did, but I'm commenting on the initiative of having the backstage access. That was pretty good. Alright, so moving on. After Claudette Peters' performance, it was the last segment of the show, which was the evening wear. Now, we sat out on the field. Rain fell again, and we were there sitting on the field waiting for the evening wear segment to go on the way for well into 20 minutes. Which kind of pissed me off again, because everything was just going off where time is concerned on this show last night. I mean, last year everything runs so smoothly, but I don't know what it is this year that something was lacking, and it was really evident that it was lacking. But the evening wear began to comment on the costumes or the evening wear that they were wearing. Now, when you hear evening wear, you want to think that these people are going to probably wear this to a dinner, or, you know, something that they can actually take this dress to. Everything that Calvin, I'm not going to say his last name, I don't want no bad publicity, but everything that Calvin designed, to me, looked like a costume. Anyway, they were good. Deshawn, she did her designing too. Her dresses were nice. And Sharon, I don't remember her last name. She was one of the designers. Her dresses was nice. It was 6 delegates, and each designer got 2 dresses to design, which was well shared. Now, Calvin Francis, on both occasions for the evening wear, and Calvin Francis or Calvin Klein, whatever his last name is, Calvin Saltwell. Sorry. Calvin Saltwell, for both the costume segment and the evening wear, he was right there in the media box on the front of the stage, and he was telling his girls where to walk, when to walk and how to walk, which pissed me off because for the costume segment, the the girls had 4 minutes on stage. All right, so there's no way that they can tell 4 minutes, but they have to estimate. But he was there for his girls that were carrying his costumes. He was there telling them when to leave. And I don't know if Carnival Development picked it up, but a few of us in the crowd, we picked it up, and we were ticked off because that's just not needed, Calvin. I mean, you did the dress, you trained with them, sit back and let them do their thing. Even if they're making mistakes, that's what we're there for. It's a show, and we expect the mistakes. We expect certain things to go wrong, but you shouldn't be there trying to coach the girls at that time. This is their time to shine. They went through so many weeks and so many months of training. Let them shine. You know what I mean? Sit the hell down. You did the costume, you did the dress. Sit down. You know, I saw Sharon last night. I saw that girl for Deshawn. They were both designers, and they were just watching. They were just watching their dresses. They were just admiring what the girls were doing. Why is it every year you gotta try to show yourself up? I don't like that about you. And you just, just tone it down a little bit. And this is just my opinion again. I'm not trying to go in hard on anybody. But if I'm doing a blog, if I'm doing a review, I gotta be real with the people that were not there. Right? Shout out to my co-host as well. She's not here, Melissa, but she'll be here for my next review and my further reviews. Now after the evening segment, they had a little entertainment where Ricardo Drew came out. He sang a song for two of the delegates, and then they brought out Drastic, and he sang a song for two of the delegates, and then they brought out the King of Soca, Tian Winters, and he did his thing. He didn't sing for two of the delegates. He had to sing for all the girls. He did his thing. The girls in the crowd was really loving him. They were going off when they saw him. But it was a good performance. And then the three of them, they sang like a cappella song to the girls, which was really lovely. I mean, it's never been done before. And that was pretty good. Now, complain again. After the evening wear segment, this is where the winners will be announced. All right. Now it took 43 minutes for them to it was like a court case. Like it took 43 minutes of us sitting on on the field and in the stands, and rain was pouring at this point. Rain was pouring. Like people with umbrellas still had to get up and go seek shelter because the rain was coming on hard. But the fans, they were really committed. They said they were not leaving. But we waited 43 minutes for the judges to come up with the winners and so forth. And that kind of ticked a lot of people off because it was obvious that things were not ready, But anyway, they did the thing. They did the judging, and then they called the minister on the stage. They called Dory on the stage, the past queen. They called back the contestants on the stage. And they announced the winners. Now, I'm going to tell you the winners in a second. But I have to go back to the costume segment for a second. Whilst they were doing the costume segment, contestant number 1 went on. She did her thing. But then they had to skip contestant number 2. And they jumped straight to contestant number 3, 4, and then 5. And then after contestant number 5, they brought back on contestant number 2. I don't know why, but I think there was a malfunction with her costume behind stage, so they were trying to do some last minute fixes. And the only reason I say that is because I think